We're here at Goffs for day 2 of the Orby Sale. A lot of potential here in the building, and I don't mean just John Duggan beside me, I mean in terms of top class potential horses here. It is yearlings up for grabs, and there's a lot of money changing hands, John.
40 million last year, Owen, 40 million euro. And I think it might have been in 27 yesterday. A horse yesterday changed hands, a sister to Alice Springs, for 2 million euro in the ring just behind us here at Goffs. This is the biggest sale of the year. We've had Sheikh Mohammed, the ruler of Dubai, who's long been in the game of racing and one of the leaders in the world. And we've had John Magnier, another world leader from Coolmore and Tipperary here. So all the big guns are here. 1780 was the first running of the Epsom Derby, and we've seen in recent years Aidan O'Brien go and conquer the Epsom Derby, and you see all these classic races run at the Curragh and at Epsom. We got the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe this weekend, and of course the Breeders' Cup meeting in America. Where do these horses that race come from? They got to come from somewhere. They got to be bought. They got to be sold. And the horses we have here today are yearlings. They're between 16 and 20 months old. Next year they will probably race as 2-year-olds, and we will see the horses that have beautiful definition. They walk beautifully. They look beautiful. Being fillies and colts being sold to race primarily, and then to go to stud ultimately. I think today, in about an hour's time, we could have a horse going for pretty much nigh on what we had yesterday, which was a 2 million. 2 million euro.
2 million.
2 million euro for a horse going round in a circle. That's going to be an absolute superstar.
Yeah.
And I think that horse will probably be going to stud eventually. The Alice Springs sister, but just like think of the amount of money.
And goes across now at only 480,000. Well, thank you for the help, sir. And sold this time at 480,000 and sold at 480 last time.
Well, one of our marketing lines, I suppose, is that Goffs is the gateway to the world for Irish breeders. We spend a lot of time travelling the world. We have agents all over the world, in America, in Australia, in the Far East, in the Middle East, and across Europe. So we spend a lot of time through the summer trying to persuade international buyers to come to Goffs. So we'll have a lot of buyers here from all over the world. Obviously some Irish buyers and some British buyers as well. But like the top lot yesterday was bought by a Dubai businessman who outbid Coolmore from County Tipperary. We had His Highness Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai, was here yesterday. His brother Sheikh Hamdan Al Maktoum, he was here yesterday. We've got buyers from China, we've had buyers from Japan, Australia, across the United States. It's a truly international client base we have here, which is great. If you look at the front cover of this year's catalogue, there's a filly called Forever Together. She was the top filly here 2 years ago. She made 900,000 euro, and she won the Epsom Oaks earlier this year. And lot 318 is her own sister, so she's by the same sire, out of the same mare. She should make a lot of money today. We're very hopeful for her.
Yeah.
Why does Goffs attract such calibre of owners and race people?
Well, I think it's not just Goffs, but it's Ireland generally. You know, in Ireland we have a long history and a justified reputation of breeding the best racehorses in the world. And Goffs offers the best outlet for those horses in Ireland. It's an amazing purpose-built complex that many of your listeners will have driven past on the way to Dublin on the N7. There is this purpose-built site that was built in 1975. Prior to that, Goffs originally used to sell in the where the horse show house is, just behind, where the AIB is, opposite the RDS.
The sweepstakes.
Yes, well, just a little bit down. There was a railway siding there, and horses used to get on the trains in Kildare and Newbridge in the morning, and they'd come up to Goffs, get off the trains and be sold. So Goffs has been around since 1866, and there aren't that many premium brands in any country, let alone Ireland, that have been around for over 150 years.
This horse that went for 2 million yesterday, the bid started at 200,000, I believe, and a lot of bidders don't want to show their hand, so you have to rely on talent spotters in that ring to help you.
Yeah, we have our bid spotters in the ring, and actually that's one of the great things, because most of the bid spotters are, quite a lot of them I know their parents. I mean, they're young guys. A lot of them are at college in Dublin. There's a lot of kind of UCD, Trinity, Maynooth college guys, and they come in there and they shout the bids up. They're a very important part of the process. And it's a very engaging atmosphere, as you've probably seen yourselves this week. It's pretty unique, and as I've said, most people drive past Goffs quite regularly and have no idea what goes on inside it, but it is a pretty unique atmosphere, and there is a great deal of excitement when a horse is making money, whether it's making 2 million, 200,000, or even sometimes when it's making 20,000, there can be an element of great excitement. And bear in mind that these horses were all born in 2017, because every thoroughbred horse becomes a year older on the 1st of January, regardless of whether it's born in January or December. So these horses were born in generally between January and May 2017, therefore they were conceived 11 months beforehand. The gestation gestation period of a horse being 11 months. And that mating was therefore probably planned in the autumn. So they were born in 2017, the mating took place in 2016. Some of these 2 minutes are actually, it is the outcome of a mating that was planned by the farmers, the stud farmers of Ireland, in the autumn of 2015. So they planned something in 2015 and it comes down to 2 minutes in our hands 2.5 years later. So there's an element of responsibility, but 2 minutes is basically their allotted time.
And after 3 decades, you must have some memorable moments.
I've had many memorable moments in this ring. You know, we have had horses make 2 million, we've had horses make 6 million here. And there's been many memorable moments, but the greatest pleasure comes when the horses that you've sold for quite a lot of money go on and justify their price by winning the races that the people who made the initial investment were hoping to win at the time they spent what seems to be a lot of money. But actually, if a horse goes on, if that filly goes on and wins a group race or something else, that will have proved to be a shrewd investment.
Okay, so you can see on the front cover there, that is Forever Together, and of course that is the full sister of Together Forever, and another full sister in lot number 318 is going to be in the building here very, very shortly. We've been told that it's going to be the sale of the day. I'm very, very excited, John. You look very, very excited.
Well, just because I remember that Together Forever was a Rick Astley #1 in the United States in 1988, which is showing my age and showing my naff taste in music. But in all seriousness, at this Goffs Orby Sale, we did a 2 million sale yesterday. Sister to Alice Springs, that went to Phoenix Thoroughbreds. Amir Abdulaziz, I think he came over from Bahrain. So you got him in the pot, you got Coolmore, Godolphin, Sheikh Mohammed, John Magnier being here this week. So I think we could actually exceed 2 million. I wouldn't be surprised, Owen, if we even got near 3 million. The way Henry Beebe is able to orchestrate these sales here at Goffs. The big hitters are in town. There's a lot of new money here as well. And I actually think there might be a bit of tension in the room come just after 2 o'clock.
Yeah, well, Henry himself did actually mention this. Lot number 318, you've got a crap taste in music, but a great taste in horses, John, so I'm excited for this. Let's go have a look to see how this one goes.
Question where we're starting, what are we going to do here? Come on, give me 1 million and put me in winner, we're going to make a long ball. 375, 400,000 now. 400, 450 now. 800 the biddies right standing. 900 going to be it. And 1 million's going to be now. At 1 million 2, at 1,500,000 now. At 1 million 6, yes sir. At 1 million 7 now. At 1 million 9, let's get it. At 2 million, 2 million 1, 2 million 2, 2 million 3, at 2 million 5, 2 million 7 on bid, 2 million 8, 3 million bid is the way, and 3,200,000 euro and Phoenix Thoroughbreds, thank you very much indeed. 3,200,000 the best.
John O'Connor, we've had this lot 318, which is called From Your Stud. We see it behind us here, Ballyhinch stud, 3.2 million euro. Are you going to pinch yourself?
Maybe, yeah. But no, we're professionals. We're here to do a job, so we're delighted, of course. And but we did expect her to sell extremely well. She's one of the best bred fillies who will be sold in Europe this year, and everything else about her matched up to her pedigree. She was a fantastic physique, great walker, vetted extremely well, and just had a bit of charisma about her.
Did you expect 3.2 million though?
Probably not, but you know, at that level, it's hard to know what to expect. Once you get to a certain point, it depends on what those people decide they want to stop at or how long they want to keep going. So that's out of your control. You put them in there, you do the best you can, and the ultimate price then depends on somebody else.
Owen and myself, we're just hurlers in the ditch. We were just coming down here for the day just to see how Goffs is working and tell the audience. And we felt the tension in there. We could cut it like a knife. Could you feel that? Yeah,
there was plenty of tension. I mean, it's not very often that a horse makes that kind of money. So, you know, inevitably there will be extra tension, and it's a bit of atmosphere. It's a little bit like a play unfolding to a certain extent. So there is a bit of tension, and that's a good thing. And in fairness, we really think that Goffs have done a fantastic job this year. They've you know, got all the top buyers here. They've gone out and got themselves a really good catalogue, and this is what it's all about. It's all about the horses in the end. If the horses are not good enough, the people will come but they won't buy. And in this particular case, Goffs encourage people to send really top-class horses. They've been encouraging people to sell in Ireland, and we're delighted that we're part of that. And I think it's an Irish success story that people should be proud of.
And this horse was not just bought, it was bred actually in your stud.
Yes, it was bred and foaled at Ballyhinch. The Coslas, who own this filly, they bought the mare at the dam of our green room in America about 10 years ago. and she's boarded with us for about the last 6 or 7 years, and they've had a lot of success with her. But they deserve to have a lot of success with her because she's a very good mare. It's unusual for a mare to breed 3 Group 1 winners. That's really rare. So this is a rare commodity really coming to the ring, and that's why you had 2 people trying so hard to buy her.
And a full sister to Forever Together, an Oaks winner for Aidan O'Brien. Would you expect this horse now to go on and be a classic winner?
You would expect that she has similar qualities to Together Forever and Forever Together, 2 full sisters. This one is similar, very similar physically, and obviously she got the exact same bloodlines as them. It's in the lap of the gods whether she has the same ability on the track, but there's every reason to think that she would do.
Is this your biggest day in this environment?
Yes.
Amir Abdelaziz. I'm trying to think of words to describe what we've just witnessed there. We wouldn't be here in Goffs too often, but this is our first day here. That was incredible, that last auction. How do you feel?
Well, like you said, it's undescribable. You can't describe it. It's a beautiful day, beautiful auction here. Organizer has done an amazing job. I love being here. It's my first time. People were nice, so I feel great about it. It's nice to walk away with a filly like that as well. Out of this auction.
Sure, it's been a good couple of days for you as well, not just today.
Well, yeah, the 2 top fillies. Going home with 2 top fillies. We're very excited, very happy about it now.
Yeah, as you should be. What is the plan with the 2 fillies? Do you have anything in mind when you saw them on the paddocks earlier?
Well, looking at the quality, these 2 fillies, out of top stallion, Galileo, out of top quality brood mares, so the plan is to, of course, raise them under the colour of Phoenix, and then hopefully they go and become our foundation mares.
So lot number 318, tell us, what did you see? What was the key component that you thought, I'm going for this?
Sexy lady. She is actually. She's got a wonderful walk, she walks like a model, and she's got a nice hip, on her, and that's what you look for when it comes to a filly. She's got a beautiful face and very athletic.
Yeah. Did you feel an adrenaline rush in there earlier on?
I did actually. I did.
Because I felt an adrenaline rush and I didn't have a single penny riding on it. I felt, which way is this going to go? Were you nervous at all? Were you worried at all that the deal might not happen for you?
Well, of course, at a certain point, you're playing against the big boys, and they're our partners, they have bigger pockets than us, so but you trying to, at the same time, trying to secure her. There's no doubt about it. I was a bit, worried, not having her, but then we said, okay, we're going to go one more time, and that one more time happened to be us, so at a certain time we were going to walk away from it, but that was the last bid for us, and they stopped, and we were lucky to have her.
Oh my God, we just saw a horse get sold for €3.2 million. John Duggan, John Nostradamus Duggan I want to call him, called it lot 318. We'd been told all along that this was going to be the horse of the day. This was the one to watch. But somebody just spent €3.2 million, and it's not just anybody. It's Amir Abdelaziz, who also had the big sale yesterday, or the big purchase yesterday, I should say. He spent €5.2 million in 2 days on 2 horses. This is big stuff, John.
Well, Owen, I like the compliment, but I'm not 500 years old. I have been around a little bit less time than Nostradamus. But yeah, no, speaking seriously, I was predicting beforehand that we might get to close to 3, but to go to 3.2 million. What I witnessed there, I think when you think about Goffs and sales of yearlings and horses that are going to be flat stars of the future and classic winners, you hear about these numbers thrown about, these sums, million here, million there, but when you actually come down here and experience it in the flesh, the horse flesh that's parading around, and then all the people that are around, the big players of world flat racing, not just Irish flat racing, world flat racing, you just then tangibly feel actually this is real money. The numbers are on a screen in yen, in English pounds, in US dollars, because there are people here from around the world. So I could feel suddenly a tension in the room. It cut like a knife, and I don't know what your vantage point was, who you were looking at during it.
Well, I was beside the person who was going up against Amir Abdelaziz. I couldn't quite see who was actually representing that particular consortium. But you were talking to us before you clicked record earlier on about being at the World Cup final. There was tension in that room, just like a big football match or like any big sporting event, you might say. It wasn't on quite the scale, but in terms of tension, in terms of things that were on the line there, that was pretty tense in there.
Well, I didn't see €3.2 million around the world of a World Cup final. I didn't see those numbers associated.
You saw no
with the
horses
events.
either.
I didn't see any horses either. But I was actually watching Mayor Abdulaziz's team. He had about 3 people with him. He had an Irish advisor. He had a lady with him. And when we were about 2.8 million, there was going back and forth between the other bidder, and his advisor would just go. And of course, he wasn't doing the bidding. He was getting somebody to do it for him. He was just going, every time. And it was just an instant, and I was kind of going 50 grand, 100 grand here, 100 grand there. Obviously, they had their number. The number could have been 3 million on the dot, and I think it probably was 3 million, because when it got to 3 million, there was a bit of a hesitation, a bit of a conference, a 30-second conference call, and then they went to 3,050,000, 3,100,000, 3,150,000, and then 3.2 million, and then there's this wait, and this, like Henry Beebe, the CEO of Goffs, who was doing the auction as the director of sales here on the day, he was like, is this your last bid? Is this your last bid? And then it was that kind of moment when this actually could be done, and then the hammer goes down and the horse is sold. I've loved the day. I've loved the stories that I've loved actually speaking to John O'Connor after he sold that horse, that sister to Forever Together, that's gone for 3.2 million. Speaking to David Cox as well, another vendor here, speaking to Henry as you did, and just a fascinating insight into the preparation and the kind of gamble that this is, because we're talking about extremely delicate animals here. Things can go wrong. There's a huge amount of veterinary preparation and post examination of these horses, so that actually, if you're spending the money, it's spent wisely, and these horses go on to either race or go to stud, and a lot of them are going to be racing. I think when we find out what the name of this horse at a Galileo is, this 3.2 million horse, will probably see it as a 2-year-old next season, and I expect we'll see it in classic races, because her full sister won an Oaks Raid in O'Brien, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes to train with this new player in the market, Phoenix Thoroughbreds, who spent 5.2 million in 2 days on 2 horses.
Yeah, I spent $3.50 on a latte, and it was totally worth it. It was delicious. Thank you for joining us here at Goffs. It's been a really eye-opening experience in terms of the thoroughbred market here in Ireland, and how this place is growing year after year after year. We've seen the direct sister of Forever Together and Together Forever go for €3.2 million. We are going to be keeping tabs on that horse for many years to come.